What's going on, YouTube? Is Donnie B all day bringing you another knife, and this one you are not going to be excited over. So I was asked to do one of those Walmart special type knives, a $20 10-inch blade made by Schrade. Now, no, really, it is Schrade. You can see it right there. I am not lying to you. This piece of crap was made by the company that brought you the Extreme Survival and the Frontier, two knives that I reviewed that are awesome. This one, not so much. This is typical cheap ass garbage stainless steel. It's one of those budget knives they make. I don't even know if you can see it in the light, but you can see all the grind lines here. It's so horribly done that it should be embarrassing. The blade shape itself, it's a straight line with a clip point dug out. It's awful. For a 10-inch blade, it should not be this thin, but it is. The little brass handguard is just a cheap little handguard. It's full tang. It's got the typical old timer scales on it that are pinned in. And I'm not gonna lie to you, these cheap ass fake wood, I don't know if it's some kind of plastic scales, are actually comfortable. That's the only part of the knife I like. I definitely don't like this piece of crap nylon sheath. But it's a $20 knife, and people want to see more than just the upper end blades, so I'm going to show you one that's a little less than upper end by a lot. Okay, we are going to begin today's embarrassment with the pallet. So this is a Schrade. All my other Schrades that I've tested have done very, very well with the pallet. Zero edge damage, zero problems. This steel I do not trust edgewise, and let's find out if they're gonna make me stick my foot in my mouth, which is a huge foot, and obviously you can see I got this little tiny mouth, so it's not gonna be good. Here we go. Well, right off the bat, it's a chopper. So I can tell you that pretty good getting into wood, harder getting out of the wood because it slices so well. But just because it chops doesn't mean the steel is good. It just means it's sharp. And I gotta say, this thing was sharp. It was sharp. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this to you. Let's see. Can you see the little waves right here? Check that out. Dude, I could surf on that. All right, so banging into hard wood, this knife literally is like doing one of these deals on the edge. It is, I mean, this isn't even something you would grind out. That's something I would need to actually heat and hammer. I don't even know if you could see that. I'll check it later. But can it chop? Hell yeah. Chop's actually really, really good. The problem is it's not going to be chopping for very long, especially with all these little waves. Let's go have some more fun with this. Okay, so it's stump time with the 10-inch blade old timer. Let's check balance. Very nice. I'm not gonna. I have bites in really well. I have no doubt in my mind that the scales aren't going to loosen. No doubt at all. As far as the handle is concerned, it's built pretty well, even though it's using very, very cheap material. Right? So I'll just do that one more time because it's doing that flawlessly. So let's see if we can't. Oh, just as I talk about the freaking handle. What the fuck, Schrade? All right, so check this out. This side still looks pretty good, right? It's nice. If I turn it over, hey, that's odd. It's missing something. Where'd that go? Oh yeah, that little old timer tab. So the little brass old timer that's just glued on just popped out. Let's see, stuck it back in there. I mean, I could throw some better epoxy on there, some better glue, and hold it in. It was a $20 knife. I don't give a shit. All right, so that's just it's like, come on, man. It's been 2 tests. So it throws. Oh, look at this. Yeah, it throws out of the hand really well. It's comfortable. I am not going to pry with this thing after this and this. There's no way I'm doing this because I won't have any blade to show you. It's going to snap in half. One more time on that, because I have to admit that I enjoy giving that a good little toss. So here's the thing. As bad as the edge is, the tip held up pretty well. I'm looking to see if there's any, you know, delamination or anything like that, but it actually looks pretty good. And check this out. Here's something a little funny. The edge, aside from the warping, the edge has no chips, no banged up marks, no nothing. It's it's funny because the edge is fine, aside from the waving. And after I pushed it in, this stayed in. Dude, this is a confusing knife. All right, let's keep going. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You can't obviously tell the strength of a blade and the ability to throw it by doing this into a log. I'm sure some of you caught on to that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my 5-yard mark. I'm gonna toss it in here, see if we can't first try this thing. If I can't, I should probably be reviewing Tupperware. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. It's stuck, and it's stuck in a way where if the tip was going to be damaged, it would have been damaged on that awkward landing. It's stuck pretty well, actually. Let's see what we have here. The tip is not bent. It's not deviated. It's not messed up. Held up. There's no warps either, as like we found in the meat of the blade. There's no warps in the front. So all right, that was pretty good. Johnny B all day is a good knife thrower. All right, so over here I have my crappy little fence area, just to keep the dogs from leaving. I have a tree that's been growing through the fence. So what I want to do is, instead of going through the 1-inch forest, I'm actually going to lop off some of this thing because I needed to do it anyway, and why not use this? So let's, I don't know if I'm still in frame with the blade. I should be. So this snapped, but it wasn't exactly the area I hit right away. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Those are really clean slices. I'm going to show you guys. Give you a nice up close of what's going on here. Even with this warped, crappy blade, it's still going, right? So, but what we need to do is we need to get through some of this thicker area, and that's what we're going to work on. And it's doing the job. That was me. That went through. So now I have to somehow get around this thing. I'll use my right hand. And good thing I'm ambulance dexterous. All right, so ambulance dexterous means usually by doing that I'm going to mess myself up and need to go to the hospital. So that worked out pretty well. While we have it here, let's take this new wave blade. Maybe we can start a new thing. We can. It's almost like a Chris, except instead of going this way, it goes that way. It's a reverse Chris. All right, so I hate to admit it, but it's shaving in carbon pretty well. All right, let's see if we can make some cool wavy, little curls here. All right, what's happening is I'm having a hard time because of the waves getting an even stroke here. I'm going to try and bite up even more on the blade to yeah, see, there we go. The feathers are much easier to produce when I'm just cutting right through them, but they're much easier to produce when I'm not using the warps. So as far as feather sticking, can it do it? Yeah, it'll do it. It'll do it a whole lot better on a blade that isn't all warpy. So let's just take a couple shots at this thing and knock it down. And I gotta say overall that it's doing the job, even warped and damaged. And when I threw it, that little tab popped out again. I wasn't too overly concerned with that, but here we go. I mean, I was intending to carve a point, and ladies and gentlemen, I am carving a point. So yay, it does that. So let's go talk about it. Okay, so here we are wrapping this up. It's kind of a hard one to wrap up because the edge performed like a $20 edge, but it also outperformed the $20 price tag. So it's a bit confusing where to land this one. If you are using it to go through tree branches that are, you know, no more than 3 inches, then I say go for it. For 20 bucks, you'll be there. You know, if you are looking for a throwing buoy that you just want to be able to toss into a stump, I say go for it. The thing is going to handle that. If you're looking for something that isn't going to lose any pieces, well, this might not be for you. If you're looking for something that you can do a lot of chopping and batoning with, this is definitely not going to be for you. Will it chop? Hell yeah, it's going to chop. But it's going to leave your blade all kinds of wavy. So it's an up and down for me. The actual edge itself took 0 damage. No chipping, no rolling, no delam, no nothing. I mean, not even a mark on the actual edge. And that's with warping. So the warps are generally going to weaken the blade, right, at the point where it's warped. And I continued to use the blade at its weakest point, and the edge didn't deviate. So, I mean, kudos to the edge, but holy mackerel. I mean, you're talking entry level. It is entry level strength as far as maintaining shape. The tip held up. That's one thing I didn't expect. The handle I expected to hold up well. It did, aside from that little tab firing out of it. That little brass handguard did its job. Is it pretty? No, not really. It's just a straight line buoy with a clip point on the end. Is it big? Yeah, it's pretty big. How big is it? Well, hold on a second. Let's figure this out. It is, what, 14 and a half, somewhere in there? I don't even have the fucking camera on. Yeah, it's like 14 and a half inches overall. The blade is 10 inches. The sheath sucks. But there you have it. The Schrade Walmart Buoy. If you got 20 bucks and a need to get through the woods, then this will do the job for you. If you have 40 bucks, I would definitely put you into something different. That said, I am Donnie B all day, and until next knife.